A very good morning to all of you and wishing you all a very happy Liberation Day. 2 days ago, we had gone to our village Zatra in Nadra. My grandmother, that is my mother's mother, had accompanied us as well. Me and her came home early and we were sitting and chatting, and I told her that I had to write a speech for Liberation Day and I didn't know what to write. I asked her to help me with it. She smiled at first and said, "What do I know about giving speeches?" Which is absolutely wrong because I've seen her giving really long speeches to my grandfather. I tried to sweet talk her into it by saying, if you don't know how to give speeches, then who will? And I guess that worked because she continued to tell me a really interesting story, which I will read out to you now, that happened in Taligaon, Goa itself on the 18th of December, 1961. As the sun rose on this cold winter morning, a small group of children, all brothers and sisters, sat warming themselves in front of a fire they'd lit up in their front yard. It was like any normal day, and everyone was about doing their daily chores. Just then, there was a loud noise which interrupted the calmness of the morning. One of the children looked up and pointed to the sky and said, "Why are there suddenly so many birds in the sky?" The children, still amazed, were looking up into the sky when a man from their village came up to them and said, "Those aren't birds, those are jets. Gerzata dista." The man went away and the children too then got up and set off for school. On their way to school, they noticed that the streets were much more quieter than usual. Up ahead, they saw a group of people pointing and looking at something far off. As the children neared the group, they were asked what they were doing outside and that they were to immediately return home. "Tumka khabar na? Ger jata. Chala gara." Fude ki radio kendra kuzala ila. On their way back, they saw that the vegetable vendors and the fish vendors had left their produce and fish on the streets and had gone away. There was no one to buy it. The Christians sat in their chapels and the Hindus in their temples, uttering their prayers, hoping this obstacle would pass soon. The ladies prayed for their husbands who had been sent on the border, praying that they would return home safely. When the children finally reached home, their eldest brother, who had just returned from a fair at a temple in Keri, told them something more frightening. He said that the Banasari bridge had been bombed. Thankfully, they had just crossed in time. Later in the morning, someone came running with more news. They put up a fire in the fields. They are burning the money notes, boxes and boxes of them. The children ran outside to see. There was a line of trucks carrying these boxes to the fields behind their house, where the fire was lit to burn the money. The children were just about to go see the fire when they were shooed inside the house by their brother. At around 2 in the afternoon, another jet appeared in the sky. There was something that was being thrown down from the jet. People thought that they were being bombed, but then a sensible man noticed that they were actually paper chits being thrown. On it was written, "Goy Mukta Zale." At 6 p.m. that day, the Indian tricolor was hoisted in the village, marking the end of the Portuguese rule in Goa. At 6, it was the next day, on 19 December 1961, that it was declared that Goa has been liberated. I think it is high time that I told you that amongst that group of children was a small little girl, none other than my own grandmother herself. She must have been 11 or 12 years old back then, but remembers the story as though it just happened yesterday. It has been 64 years since this day has passed. The day that the people of Goa yearned for 450 long years back then. The day that we just take for granted now. You know why this is so. You don't need me to tell. We all know what is happening around us. I am here to put forth a message, especially for the youth of our state, the citizens of tomorrow. Our forefathers did not fight for our freedom so that we could sit twiddling our thumbs. I want you to just take a moment, close your eyes, and imagine a state where we were still being controlled by the shackles of foreign rule. Imagine yourself in the story that I've just told you. Our freedom fighters dreamt of a free state, something that we were born into. Let us not take that for granted. All I ask from each and every one of you is to wake up. Wake up to the opportunities around you. As a commerce student, I've studied that efficient use of resources leads to good results. Similarly, as children, the most valuable resources that we have is time and talent. Why put them to waste? What good is it going to do to any of us? All problems, they stem from our choices. When we choose responsibility over excuses and hard or smart work over shortcuts, achievement becomes inevitable. Our forefathers have proved this through their lives and sacrifices, which is precisely why we gather here today. To celebrate this day and to remember that the power to shape our future still lies in the choices that we make. Thank you.